Okay, closing cost. I mentioned that you have earnest money, $2,000 in earnest money. Earnest money reduces the closing cost. Closing costs are not loan items. They're items outside of the loan. It is attorney's fees, it's Veterans United's fees, it's the transfer tax, it's the VA funding fee, it's the title search on the property to make sure that it's clean, there's nothing wrong with it, that you're gonna get a clean property and house. So it's all these fees that get everything to the table so we can close and make it smooth and easy and clean, but you're doing a lot of the work up beforehand. It's about 3.5% of the purchase price, 3.5. And so on, let's say a $215,000, $20,000 home, it's like $6,000 or $7,000 in closing costs total. Now it's not loan items because it's outside the loan. $2,000 reduces it. So let's just say it's $7,000 total. If you put $2,000 in earnest money, you're left with $5,000 left. It is due on day 30 when we close. Now, depending on the offer situation and depending on the sale of the house and the price of the purchase price and what all is going on in the deal, sometimes we can ask the seller to pay for some of that. Sometimes we can. In this market, the buyers are having to take on all the set closing costs, all $7,000, 2 in the beginning, 5 left over. Because if anyone asks the seller to pay for closing costs in a multiple offer situation, then they're not even going to have a chance to win. But there are some times we can ask the seller to pay some closing costs, and there are some times we can roll part of that closing cost into the loan. We roll it in, but we have to ask the seller to pay for some of that in the contract. There's a lot of different ways that can go. Don't try to figure it all out. I'll explain it all as we get into it, and I can tell you exactly how it's going to flesh itself out from day one, because it'll all be in the contract and how it works. Just know that you'll need anywhere from $3,000 to $8,000, maybe $9,000 in the deal possibly. If you have it, great, boom. If you don't have it, great, boom. You just need to let me know what you have so that I know how to work it into the deal, because there's a lot of different ways I can absorb your cash into there to try to make it stand out. But point being, at closing, there's more additional funds that somebody has to take care of at the table. So there it is, the 4 areas that you're responsible for: earnest money, inspection, appraisal, closing cost. These 3 are about $3,000, and then the final one could be at closing on day 30. Now the closing date can always change. There's a date on the calendar, but that thing shifts all the time. You never know what it could be at the end of the day. But we get closer to the date, then we know it's going to be firm or shifting. Okay, let me pause there.